Hey guys, Admiral Infinity here today with another review. Today I'm going to be doing the SU-152. Before I get started, I'd just like to explain a couple things. I decided to discontinue the how-to series just because it's not been getting much support and I don't think you guys very like that series that much. So in the meantime, I'm just going to be doing 2 videos a week until I can find a series to replace that series. So just expect a review and a shots and shrapnel every week from now on. And until I figure out a new series to do, then, just 2 videos, expect that a week. So, let's get back into this. So, protection on the SU-152, 920 hit points, a whole armor of 75 in the front, 60 in the sides, and 60 in the rear. Weighs about 45.81 tons, has an engine power of 600 horsepower, a speed limit of 43 kilometers, a traverse speed of 20 degrees a second. Standard shell damage 300 to 500. Standard shell penetration 131 to 219. Rate of fire 7.88. Aiming time 2.9. Dispersion at 100 meters 0.41. And view range 230. So let's talk about this a little bit. First, let's take a look at all the guns of the SU-152. A lot of people prefer this gun because at tier 7, 800 damage is kind of ridiculous actually, because no other tier 7 tank has reached 500 except, the IS and a couple others. 800, that's what a lot of people like to use. The problem with this gun is the accuracy is terrible. If you're aiming for a weak spot and you can't penetrate anywhere else, don't expect to hit it. This thing's accuracy is bad. The reload time is terrible. The aiming time is terrible. The only thing good about this gun is the damage. The penetration, everything else is bad. Next gun, a slight improvement, but it only does 300 to 500 damage. But it has better accuracy and better aiming time than the previous gun. The tier 8 gun, which is the best out of which is the most expensive, is the one I would recommend using, because good aiming time, 300 to 500 damage, good penetration, some accuracy, not awesome accuracy, but pretty good, better than the first gun's accuracy. And 2, I recommend getting that gun is because then you'll have it on the ISU and you can go quickly for the OPBL-10 gun, which is what the ISU is famous for. That's why I recommend getting everything you can on the SU-152 that the ISU will also be able to use. This track I'm not going to get myself because the ISU doesn't use it, so why do I need to get it? The only reason this track would be good is, turning a little bit faster. So, and keep in mind, my SU-152, if you have one, mine has, different guns and stuff on it. As far as equipment goes, I don't get equipment on tier 7 and tier 8 tanks unless they're premium and a really good tank I plan on keeping after I research the tier 9. So I don't have equipment on mine. But what I would recommend is, gun rammer. For a tank destroyer with this fast of a gun rammer would really help, because then you're putting more damage out and everything increase. And then always improve ventilation. Another thing I might recommend is, here it is, the binocular telescope, a 25% view range for a stationary tank up to 500 meters. Because this isn't a heavy, this ain't a T95, this thing is made for sniping, and that's what it's good at. So that will really improve, its sniping performance, being able to see tanks at farther distances. And as far as consumables go, I always get adrenaline, multi-purpose restoration pack, and repair kit. Because adrenaline, loading speed's always good. Multi-purpose restoration pack in case you get rocked 3 times and you're in fire and 3 things are broken, And then repair kit in case, just your gun's broken. Just a quick and easy way to get some, to not lose too many credits. And as far as, AP and HE and APCR ammunition go, I only use AP. I don't use HE that often, but I keep a couple shells just in case. You never know, you might need it. An APCR, really, the only reason you need that is if you're going against a really heavily armored Tier 9 tank. But, you know, why... If you're going against a Tier 9 battle, you don't really need to worry about carrying the team and using APCR, because you got Tier 9 tanks to help you do it. As battles go, the SU-152 is a pretty good tank destroyer with the Tier 8 gun. The reason I like it is the IS has a similar gun with 300 to 500 damage and similar penetration. But the speed and the accuracy, the reload time on the SU-152's gun is a lot faster than the IS's. So this thing has a lot higher alpha damage than the IS and better accuracy. So this thing is capable of going toe-to-toe with heavies. I wouldn't recommend it though, because heavies have the advantage over it. They always have more health and they aren't hindered by not having a turret. So this thing can do it, I just wouldn't recommend it. Ah, crud. There's a feature I don't like about the SU-152 that's kinda had one of its disadvantages, is its terrible turning speed. As you can tell, that is not very fast at all. So if this thing was to get flanked by a medium, catching up is not going to be an easy thing. That's why, you know, when you're in an SU-152, it's better to stay back. And I should probably, you know, follow my own advice, but, you know, I'm not. And I'm about to die. Yeah, that was quick. But this gives me more time to explain things. The SU-152 is a really good tank when it comes to gun. Its gun is amazing. Now, when it comes to armor and gun depression and health, it's not the best. It's better in health than all the other Tier 7 tank destroyers. But when it comes to armor, it's pretty terrible. And so, that's why this thing is good. It can go toe-to-toe with Tier 7 heavies. But I wouldn't recommend it because of the fact of its low armor and not as much hit points as the Tier 7 heavies. So this tank is more of a hang back and snipe kind of tank destroyer. Unlike the T-95 and the T-28, those tanks go head-to-head and nail tanks. The ISU and the Object 704 and 268, that's not what they're built for. They can do it, yes, they're capable, but they're more of the sniping tank because they put out shots fast, quickly, and effectively. That's kind of what they do. They're like what you would consider a tank destroyer, a sniper tank. So, the SU-152, it's a really good Tier 7 tank destroyer. At Tier 7, I think it's pretty good. It's a really good Tier 7 tank, and it leads to the near invincible ISU with the OP derp gun, as people call it, the BL-10 gun. And as far as I'm concerned, I think the SU-152 is one of the top Tier 7 tanks. I think it's up there with the IS and the T-29. And so, after ranting on about that for about 10 minutes, let's go and show you some battles and show you how to properly use this thing. For one, you shouldn't do what I did last round. You should not charge forward. This thing is not the up there heavy tank all the hits. That's not what it's good at. It is a pure support tank. Yes, it can do it at some scenarios, but you know what? You shouldn't rely on it being able to do that every time. So, two things I recommend doing every time in the SU-152. One, look at the map and see if this is a good map for sniping. This map is not a bad map for sniping, but it's not the best map you can possibly have when you're in an SU-152. One, because the sniping positions can only hit certain spots. And usually where the windmill, the battle, that's where all the battle is. Like where all the battle rages out. And the SU-152 can't hit most of the spots in that, position. So, in this map, I think it's best as a support tank. Hang back, but stay near the windmill and be able to give your team supporting fire and if you need to, cover. This map, I don't think it's very great for sniping. Because as you see, that M4A3, when he gets spotted, everywhere on the map will he be able to be hit from. Any tank. He could be over there by the windmill. He can be down there by the base. He could be anywhere and be sniped. Except, behind a hill, but that goes without saying. So, that's why I don't think this map is a good map for sniping. So, that's why you got to plan where you're going to go in an SU-152. And since my team is being a baby, it looks like I'm going to be the one who has to go up and take the hits, which is not something this thing's renowned for. Oh, crud. Hey, team, if you could help me, that would be pretty great. Always appreciative. Dang, already out. That was quick. So, that's what you need to do. You need to plan your position where you're going to go with the SU-152. You need to figure out, is this map good for sniping or is it not? And you need to not charge out in the front like I keep doing. I'm too used to using a T-95, as you can tell. Too used to tank destroyers that play like heavy tanks and can take hits, but the SU-152 is just not one of those tanks. So, let's just watch this battle play out. And the next round, I'll play it smart like I've been trying to explain this whole time and, been failing at doing. Because, I'm not a multitasker. And probably never will be. So, is there anything else I can think of to say? Nope, I think I've explained everything about the SU-152. Crappy traverse speed, not bad accuracy, but not the best. Really good gun, but that goes without saying on tank destroyers. Tank destroyers usually have amazing guns. That's why they're called tank destroyers. And it looks like we've won this battle. Surprisingly. Considering that half the team's camping, which is, sometimes it works, but I don't recommend using that strategy every time you play the game. So let's see if we can get a good map that's good for sniping, which is what the SU-152, I think, is really good at. When you're sitting there and you start getting hit by an SU-152, you need to get out of there. Just like it is in Tier 10. When an object's sniping, you're screwed because that gun is going to hit you hard in it. The SU-152 series is known for their shot effectiveness. And shot effectiveness, more chance of ammo racking. So, and if you don't know what an ammo rack is a certain point on your tank where all your ammo is located. And there's a chance when a tank shoots you in that spot where that ammo rack is located behind the armor, that you can be ammo racked, which means your ammo ignites and you are one shot instantly. Doesn't matter if you have full health or nothing. If you're ammo racked, you're dead. Completely killed. And that's, what was I? And that's what the object is really, really good at. Because the more armor piercing, the more chance you're going to get through the armor, and the more chance you're going to ammo rack. And who doesn't like ammo racking? The more ammo, that's like more damage for one bullet. So, yeah, I've explained that. That's why I recommend using the Tier 8 gun on the SU-152. Because the derp gun that does 800 damage has terrible penetration. Like, when it gets it with that gun, you cannot stand your ground against Tier 7 heavies. Because you can't penetrate Tier 7 heavies. And I forgot that this was a Tier 8 game. But even though the SU-152 has enough penetration to get by and take on, penetrate most Tier 8s. This Pershing's starting to realize that, as I keep putting shots into him. But that's an ISU, and I hope he doesn't have the gun. See, I can penetrate that Pershing, and because I'm not using the derp gun, I have more chance of actually killing him. But I keep getting unlucky because he's angling, and I keep ricocheting. Ah, crap, I just shot on accident. That wasn't good. What do I do here? Do I try and kill the Pershing Dang, that Hellcat though, and the ISU, and the tank that's shooting me in ammo and broke my ammo rack. Okay, seriously, that Pershing's annoying me. Come on, you little punk. Quit hiding. Just a little bit more. Dang. Dang. How about give me a hand and kill that stupid Pershing, and I'll kill the Hellcat for you, Centurion. Just, quit ramming me so I can shoot him. Dang. This is not going well. My accuracy is not working for me. And this Hellcat's gonna smoke me. Yep, I'm out. Well, that was poor display of how to use an SU-152. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll be doing a Shots and Shrapnel 6 where I'll be using the SU-152 and actually get good battles out of this thing. And so I hope you guys have enjoyed, like I was saying. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and recommend this to your friends if you enjoy this channel. And please post a comment about what tank to review next. As you can see, I have plenty of tanks to review from lots of lines, and I can work on a new line if you want to review. Or if you want me to look at, lower tier tanks, I can do that too. Just whatever you need, I'll try to get a hold of and do. So, please leave a like, comment below, and I'll see you all later.